Step 1. Optimize the URL, which is the first king. We want to start off with our keyword research template for one of our pages and then look at the biggest keyword we have. So in this example, I've decided to go with our yoga clothing page, as you can see from the screenshot on the right. I've already sorted our keywords in order of the most monthly searches, so finding the biggest keyword is a simple task. We can easily see that the biggest keyword is yoga clothes with 3,200 searches a month. As this is our biggest keyword, we want to include it in our URL. So a good example of a URL would be website.com/yoga clothes. A bad example of a URL would be website.com/yoga clothes tops for men, women, sell cheap UK. As you can tell, we're trying to stuff in as many keywords as we can in the URL, and as a result, it looks very spammy. We want to avoid looking like a spammer, and ideally, we want to go for shorter URLs as well. Another thing you want to keep in mind as well is you want to avoid repeating words in the URL. For example, if your website is called yoga.com, then a good URL would be yoga.com/clothes. A bad URL would be yoga.com/yoga clothes. The reason why this is a bad URL is because you have the word yoga in there twice. You want to avoid repeating words in your URL. I'm now going to head over to my WordPress website and I'm going to show you exactly how you can optimize your URL on a WordPress website. Optimizing the URL on a WordPress website is actually very straightforward. So in this video, I'm going to give you a live walkthrough and show you exactly how you do it. So let's just imagine I'm logging into my website and I want to create a new yoga page targeting that keyword yoga clothing. So the first thing I need to do is to log into my WordPress website. So for the example of this video, I'm using a ClickSlice, which is actually my website for my SEO agency. So it's not a yoga website. However, let's just imagine it is, and we're going ahead and creating a new page. So you want to go into your WordPress website, log in, click Pages, and then click Add a New Page, and it will load a page that looks like this. So as you can see, I have this option right here, which is called a permalink. So a permalink is essentially a fancy word for a URL. If you don't see this option right here, what you need to do is in your title bit up here, simply just put in any random text, and then the permalink box will load below. So what you want to do is click Edit, and simply remove test title, as that's what I had up here before, and simply put in the keyword you want to target, which for me is going to be yoga clothes. And then simply click OK, and then click Publish if it's a new page. If it's an old one, you want to click Update. And that is essentially how you update your URL. Word of warning. If your pages already have decent rankings and have links pointing to the page, you may want to avoid changing the URL. As this page will already have some trust and authority in the eyes of Google with its current rankings, so if you go ahead and then change the URL of this page, it can result in a drop of rankings. It's better to just move on to the next two kings to better optimize your website. If you insist and you still want to change the URL to include the keywords, then what I recommend is you set up a 301 redirect. A 301 redirect is essentially when you redirect one page to another page. Meaning if you had a link to that old page, then it'd be automatically redirected to the new URL. I'll show you how to set up a 301 redirect later on in the course in the technical SEO section.